and billing, and it also tracks all the events that has happened in a booking for make sure that the appropriate billing is issued. When it comes to the analysis tools, it gives a comprehensive financial statistics, statistic also regarding total business and sales statistics, booking engines, search engines. We can track from the source of each booking. That was for Platform Supervisor. So now Platform Manager. Platform Manager has got a powerful feature. It's a commercial distribution channel controlled by the hotelier himself and only by himself. So this is the interface that will be used by the hotelier for managing its access to the booking engine and what net surfers will see and will be able to book. It generates booking forms that implement the sales strategy that the hotelier has decided before. How is this possible? There are several functions. First, the hotelier accesses a home page with menus allowing for an easy access to various features of the interface, synthetic and clear management control that show the last 10 transactions. It's also a marketing tool because it gives the hotelier the opportunity to describe the service provided by his hotel: reception, restaurant, bar, conference room, Wi-Fi, etc. And also the composition of the room. What is also very important is that it also gives the possibility to control rates and stays that are offered to customers. So the hotelier can go onto the platform and directly modify rates, availabilities, periods. It can adjust and update rates on a daily basis, either manually or semi-automatically, and it can also offer package management. It can also offer special discounts if it's got a need for booking availabilities that are left, and assign a discount rate. And it's also a planning management tool because it can therefore manage, according to his needs, his yield management. At last, Platform Manager gives the hotelier the possibility to follow up his activity like bookings, cancellations, no-shows, and sales and rates that are applied. At last, Platform Client is the access to the booking platform for the internet user. So the web surfer will have access to the booking platform through the layout we just showed you. What is important is the effectiveness and simplicity of the booking engine that leads the internet user to be able to book an accommodation within a 3-click process maximum. So this is where the customer has got access to the booking form customized according to the hotelier's will and strategy, and not customized according to an intermediary, and obviously an intermediary's interests. There are also other features. Platform Client is a search for accommodation engine, according to various criteria, such as geographic location, type, fares, events, exhibitions. It gives an optimized display of the results that can there be modified thanks to a refining of the search criteria of the web user. In case of unsuccessful search, it gives a display of related hotels. Obviously, the aim is to facilitate and to ease the booking process for the web user. So then there will be a booking form where the customer will be able to choose dates, availabilities, and fares. He will complete his booking form, register his paying details, and then the booking will be proceed. We have added other features, such as quick book process, when the customer is looking for when he's got no particular idea, then it's the engine who will propose him bookings for accommodations. He can also cancel bookings in accordance with the terms and conditions that have been set up before. And it will be able also to book for related services such as rental cars, travels, etc., if this option is required by the hotelier. Of course, now we have to talk about the operating structure that is required for successfully operate such a booking platform. So a dedicated structure will be set up with 4 departments. First one of them is the development, maintenance, and web referencing department that will take care of the technical interface, website SEO, referencing, monitoring, technical maintenance, and so on. There is also the operating system network and hosting. This is a critical department because it is the one that ensures service continuity, hostings, and managing all the system's technical aspects once online. There is the administration, management, and customer relationship management department that takes care of the relationship with the members being the hoteliers. It provides for free service hotline, free training for being able to use the platform at the best of the interest of the hotel. And at last, there is a sales administration department, if required, for having representative trying to go and visit hotels for making the database of hotels accessible via the booking platform to end customers. So what is our conclusion and strategy? We said it's important that you be in control of your internet bookings. We said that it's difficult to achieve, or it asks for a huge investment that is obviously that generates ROI. We've been talking about that. We've thought of a booking platform that was designed by you for you. So it's designed by the hospitality industry and dedicated to the hospitality industry. The project is designed as a whole. Therefore, it's ready not only to be launched, but also to be successfully operated in the long term. And our group of partners takes in charge the construction works and organize the development teams. We said that you had to be in control. There is one last very important thing for the hotel industry: to be in control. We advise IH&RA to ensure the long-lasting success of this project by retaining control of its portal, thanks to the mastering of the expertise required, of the appropriate technology, and of its ability to maintain and develop its booking platform. This is critical to us. It's not only about making you visible onto the internet and being in control of your booking process. It's also about you being in the long term the owner of the technology that makes that feasible for you. With its experience and advice in tourism and hotel bookings, our group is committed to successfully implement the methods and concepts presented throughout this Congress. So now some of our references. We've done booking platform for www.code.aze.fr for hotels on the French Riviera. We've been doing booking platforms also for a group of hotels in France and in Tunisia, also in the Caribbean, and booking platforms also for restaurants within France. We thank you very much for your attention, and we look forward to helping you being in control of your booking process through the internet. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we throw the house open to questions from you in case you have any questions. I'd also like to make a special announcement before we begin the questions, that immediately following this, we have a special talk by Mr. Frederick Pierre, Assistant Secretary General, United Nations World Tourism Organization. Brief talk for 10 or 15 minutes. So just to tell you that we've got something more to look forward to after this. We'll take questions. We'll have a mic passed around.
My name is Jack Sukija. I represent a hotel called Welcome Heritage Panjamin. My question is to the gentleman from Fastbooking. I want to know two questions. One was that in case study 2, you talked about the removal of iframe. What do you mean exactly by that? And the second question is, if you want to know about Fastbooking, how to work more about it, how do we go about it? Thank you.
iframe is a booking engine that's built on your website so that you want to have a consistent look and feel. iframe has a limitation because you have a double browsing challenge. Particularly, you have a lot of packages. So consumers who are not savvy, they only look at the first part. They do not know how to go to the second part, and they cannot navigate. So as a result, you actually reduces conversion opportunity. You will see from the case study, we allowed this hotel to go for 1 year because they have somebody who is a bit techy, he thinks he knows what he was doing. And then when we realized that they're losing a lot of revenue, we said, no, you got to stop, hear us out, go back to where you started. And when you look at that, the results start coming back almost 2-3 times more. You see, sometimes when we deal with a lot of people, we have to respect their opinion first before we enforce certain mindset. So that's one. You want to know more of Fastbooking, I'll be happy to take it offline. Again, you have seen a very brief what we do. We're just not a booking engine provider. We drive a lot of traffic. We invest in your brand. We want to make sure that you do well so that in return, we earn commission on those performance.
Anybody else, sir?
Paramjit Ghai from Bombay, the Unicontinental. For IH&RA's booking engine platform, what are your fees if I would want to book my hotel? I want to use your booking engine of IH&RA. You said it's of the members, for the members, so I believe it should be very reasonable. Can you just give me some guidance on what would be your, how do you go about charging or
I'm just
putting
checking.
up
I'm just phrasing the question to make sure. So you're worrying about the fees taken for the hotelier to use to have access to the platform.
Is it booking wise?
Okay, so the access to the platform in itself is free. The training, the hotline, the register onto the database, and all of this is free. The platform itself will be owned by a dedicated structure, which will take commissions on booking. So this is where there will be a cost for the hotelier for using the platform. But the costs will be far lower than what we see in the industry at the present, because the cost is only there for making the investors get back to their cost of development. So it's not a tool that is here for generating huge profits. It's a tool that is there for lowering the cost of transaction for the hoteliers and for allowing them to be in control of their capacity and of the fares that they will practice. So obviously there will be a cost, but it's far less expensive than what we see in the business at the moment.
If you could just give me some benchmark, 5% or 10% or 2%, just typically.
It will be lower than 10%.
Thank you.
One last question from anybody? No? Okay, fine. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like you to put your hands together for our panel. And ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Frederick Pierre, Assistant Secretary General, United Nations World Tourism Organization, for the next 10 or 15 minutes. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, honorable delegates, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. It's indeed a pleasure and an honor for me to be here in the special and so marvelous city of Goa on the occasion of the FH&RA convention and the IH&RA board meeting. I'm grateful to Mr. Kamlesh Barot, the president of FH&RA, and to my dear friend, Dr. Ghassan, president of IH&RA, for inviting the World Tourism Organization to this important conference. In 2012, for the first time in the history of mankind, more than 1 billion tourists will have crossed a border in a single year. There were 25 million in 1950, 435 million in 1990, and 940 million in 2010. In other words, the number of international tourist arrivals has grown by a factor of 37 by 60 years, in 60 years, and has more than doubled in the last 20 years. One might say that it's the most normal thing for international tourism to be growing because, after all, the world population is growing as well. But what is more remarkable is that this activity is growing faster, much faster, than the world population. In 1950, international tourist arrivals were equivalent to 1% of the world population. Humanity was not moving around, or hardly so. People were beginning to go places when this ratio hit 6% in 1980, reaching 30% in 2010. What's more, if we take the median projections of the United Nations concerning the world population and of UNWTO concerning the tourist arrivals, they are said to reach the equivalent of 18% of the world population in 2020 and 22% in 2030. A major development is thus materializing before our eyes. Humanity has begun to move, and this movement is accelerating. Nevertheless, these figures, as impressive as they are, represent but a small part of the tourism phenomenon. Indeed, they refer only to international tourism, that is to say, tourism in which individuals cross a border, in contrast to the overwhelming majority of tourists who choose to spend overnights away from their homes while remaining within their national borders. According to the best currently available figures and estimation, international tourism accounts for just 17% of all tourist arrivals. This means that if we add domestic tourism, the number of tourism arrivals in 2010 came to a total of 5.25 billion, equivalent of 80% of the world population, and 84% in 2012, sorry. At this rate, the total number of tourist arrivals will equal the world population in about 2018, 2019. In other words, on average, the entire world population will be engaging in a tourism stay each year. Of course, this is merely an average, behind which are hidden deep inequalities. While some go on holidays 3, 4, 5 times a year or more, others never have the possibility of the opportunity to leave their village or their suburb. The fact remains, however, that this movement is deep and has multiple consequences. There are obviously many factors behind this phenomenon, among which the overall rise in living standards, the reduction in transport costs, and increased leisure time in the main tourist-generating countries play a considerable role. Beyond this impressive scale of this movement, what is striking is the consistency of this development. Indeed, if we have a look at just international tourism, and even though it's more sensitive to crisis than domestic tourism, we see that over the past 30 years, the number of arrivals has declined just 4 times. In 2091, due to the first Gulf War, in 2001, in the wake of the 11 September attempts, in 2003 owing to the SARS epidemic, and in 2009 due to the financial crisis. Above all, we can see that in these 4 cases, that growth came back by the following year to more than offset the losses during the crisis year and return to the long-term growth trend line. Furthermore, in cases of economic crisis, the tourism sector suffers a much milder recession than any other economic sector. For example, during the crisis of 2009, while the value of international trade in services shrunk by 10%, the decline of international receipts were limited to 5.6%, that is almost 50% less. Thus, if we, for a moment, if we imagine a company that operates in the tourism sector and that is sufficiently globalized to operate in all 5 continents, like hotel chains or some big tour operators, it would be reasonable to think that it would be almost assured of higher business volume each year, and if an exceptional decline in activity should come during 1 year, such decline would be less than half of that in other economic sectors, and the activity would recover the following year to a level higher